reaction, and my pillow's knocked down here. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just showing y'all, like, I have shorts on. This is my jacket, by the way. But yeah, I have shorts on, guys. So, yeah.
Terrifying. After watching these, some of you may have doubts if someone ever invited you over for a Netflix and chill.
Okay, guys.
Here's what the stories looked like. The story I'm about to tell you transpired last winter as we all anticipated the coming of Christmas. Kevin lived alone in a cottage house.
Guys, last winter, that's when I got, I think that's when I got my Nintendo, but I don't use it.
In the countryside, he had a few neighbors, but the distances between their residences were far apart. In addition, those folks seemed to be the homebody
They're nosy.
types who rarely invited anyone to their place anyway. So, as a result,
That's racist.
he rarely interacted with them. It got a bit lonely at times, so going on Tinder frequently became a way for him to escape the isolation. Then, after a while,
I don't know what Tinder is, and she ugly.
he eventually met this attractive girl named Stella. She had long
How do you know she attractive? So you're saying ugly girl attractive? Wow.
brunette hair, simple makeup, and to top it all off, a pretty smile. She was definitely Kevin's type. So, after sending her his first
Oh, both got pretty smiles. Like, that's how y'all like. No, they got the whole gums right here showing. Like, what are y'all doing? And then you like that's the Monkey King. That's the Monkey King. Like, that's how he looks.
message, it felt like they instantly made a connection. They'd text each other often, and to ensure she wasn't a catfish, they even FaceTimed. Then, a few weeks later, he invited her to drop by the house to chill by the fireplace while watching some movies on Netflix. When Stella finally arrived at his house, he opened the door and welcomed her in. As the hours passed, they had a few glasses of wine, and one thing led to another. We'll just leave it at that. Then, moments later, Stella changed into Kevin's clothes and expressed her desire to stay overnight. Naturally, he was delighted, but since she was also looking for something to munch on, Kevin offered to drive them to a nearby McDonald's.
Going to the Munchies to eat crunchies. Yo! Alright. But yeah, McDonald's stuff not crunchy. It's just if you deep fry it, yeah. Them chicken nuggets and some Big Macs. Nah, that's the bomb though. That's the bomb. Them chicken sandwich. Nah, I don't think about those though. Those cheeseburgers, Big Macs and chicken nuggets are the best. I ain't gonna cap. That's the bomb. I don't know about y'all, but that's the bomb. That's the bomb. Type in the comments what is y'all favorite. Chicken nuggets, Big Mac, or whatever y'all want to call it. But y'all, if it was dessert, yeah, y'all can pick dessert too. Y'all want to? Y'all can pick how many options y'all want. It doesn't matter.
Since he lacked the cooking skills, she scoffed, initially expecting that they could enjoy some comfort food at home that would make the experience.
Sighing. Like, she's sighing. Hold on, guys. It's some. Okay, guys, I'm back.
More intimate, but soon after, Stella nodded and agreed to tag along. Then, as they opened the front door, they saw a hooded man looking in their direction on the.
Hold on. First, guys, if I was in the house watching Netflix and chilling, I wouldn't want to go outside. And second of all, if that man's staring, I'm gonna say, you got a staring problem, because if I come over there and smack you, you won't be seeing nothing. Try me. Like, I'm not even joking. That's how I be.
Street in front of the house, and as they glanced at the pile of snow outside, they noticed footprints leading up to the front door. Who the hell is that guy? Do you know who that is? Stella held Kevin's hand tightly and said,
I have no idea.
Kevin then
That's your girl? Or what? Okay. She ugly. That black lipstick on the top. Bro, put some on the bottom. That ain't cool. The black lipstick on the top? You serious? Nah.
noticed how anxious Stella was. Hence, he stood still as he
Bruh, man, I think that's your girl. Second off, you won't let yourself get embarrassed by a man. Like, walk up to that man. Walk up to that man. Listen. Walk up to that man. And you know what I want you to do? Tell him to get off your lawn before you have some problems. That's your lawn. It ain't, listen. It ain't his. He can just walk up out of there and get his own. He probably broke. Now he need to mind his business. Serious.
Stared at the man from a distance, and so he knew that his best course of action was to remain indoors. Kevin immediately closed the door and locked it shut. For the next couple of hours, they watched various chick flicks on Netflix, hoping they could divert their attention away from...
First off, close your windows. Close your blinds, because yo blinds. No. I don't even think that's blinds. Oh yeah, those curtains. My bad, guys. My bad. I haven't said that word in a long time, bro. Close your curtains, and then open them in an hour. If he get closer, open that window. Or go outside. Drop that dude on your snow. Then pick him up on one of his braids or dreads. I don't know what those is. Or I don't know those braids, dreads, whatever those styles are. But whatever he got, pull him by there and bang him. I'm like, joking.
The man who stood...
Bang him on the fence.
Like a scarecrow. But since Kevin just wanted to chill while keeping them safe at the same time, he turned off the lights, closed all the curtains...
Why his fingers went like this? It's cricket. Who drew this? This is not a fan animation. This is a drawing, bro.
And windows and double-checked that all the doors in the house were locked. As Stella and Kevin sat comfortably on the couch, watching...
What y'all mean? That's not how they like. They is. That's how they like. Did y'all just realize that her chin, like... Her chin! What's something wrong with her chin? I'm not dating her, bro. I would never date a woman like that.
To their heart's content, there was an awkward silence filling the air, until moments later they heard the sound of bricks, waking Kevin from his semi-stupor, thus prompting him to head for the window. Then, as he slid the curtain ever so slightly, his heart skipped a beat. When standing in front of his house was the same hooded man from moments earlier. The sky was dark, and the only thing he could make out at the time were the constant fall of snowflakes, and the silhouette of a man whose head slowly turned to face him, as though he knew he was watching. But then, one of the most horrifying things occurred when suddenly he began to sprint towards the window. Stella was terrified, as Kevin told her to stand back. However, nothing was more terror-stricken than hearing the man slam his fists against the window, screaming like a lunatic.
What are we gonna do?
Stella asked frantically.
Don't worry, follow me.
Kevin grabbed her hand, directing her towards the kitchen. Then, as they began calling the cops, a hooded man broke in through the window. Stella ran.
Like, what are you doing? Stop screaming and run! Or on this one, like, bow, he did.
And upstairs, while Kevin hid underneath the table in the kitchen, he kept himself silent, controlling his breathing to avoid drawing attention.
That's the Grinch, bro.
To himself. However, as the footsteps became louder, giving him the notion that he was close by, suddenly, the sound just vanished. Then,
stop breathing.
As Stella hid inside the closet, covering her mouth as she cried, she heard blood-curdling screams coming from downstairs. Certain It was the voice of the man she cared for. She was in shock, not knowing if she should wait it out, make a run for it, or help her significant other. Fortunately, seconds later, she remembered she had a cell phone in her pocket. So she took it and immediately dialed 911, while whispering on the phone as the operator told her to stay calm and hidden while the cops were on their way. All this time, Stella remained still as the screaming downstairs finally ceased. However, the creep burst into laughter like a maniac, causing her entire body to tremble.
If I was her, I would have got so mad that I would have thrown my phone at his face. I would have punched him in the eye, would have gave him 2 black eyes, would have took that knife, stabbed him in his eyes. He would not be able to see any movement I'm about to take. I'm about to stab him in his body 200 times. I'm about to knock him on the floor, bang him on the ground, push him down the stairs. Then I'm about to put him in the closet, and then I'm about to suffocate him with a pillow in the closet. Sure. And then I'm gonna hide the dead body. Hold on. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all mumbling.
Months later, the cops finally arrived, bearing witness to the horrors left behind by the culprit. Eventually, Kevin's body was found lifeless on the ground in the kitchen, soaked in a puddle of his own blood. Stella wailed in agony, her knees dropping to the ground. After careful observation, they reckon the creep escaped through the kitchen window, tracking him down by following the footsteps on the snow, leading them to the nearby woods. It was difficult to see the path clearly due to all the snow, but as one of them checked behind the bushes, the killer was seen crouching, with his hands drawn up as the police apprehended him. Later on, he was brought to the police station to be interrogated, and when he was asked about his intentions, he said,
She told me we'd keep in touch. She promised we'd always stay connected. So, who was that guy? And why the heck did she choose him and not me? No. I can't let her be with anyone else but me.
I shall speak, bro.
If I can't have her, no one else will.
And that's when it all made sense. The culprit happened to be Stella's jealous ex-boyfriend. He had admitted to stalking Stella everywhere she went since their breakup, which ultimately led to Kevin's demise.
How's she gonna sit up here and lie saying she don't know him?
I've never told anyone about this. I've been suppressing it for over a decade now. It was back in the year 2009, when I was a much younger and naive girl back then, just 18 years old. In those days, apps like Instagram, Twitter,
You look like a man. You do.
and Snapchat either weren't popular like today or didn't exist at all. The thing that was big back then was this instant messaging service called MSN. That was what everyone used to talk to each other at those.
Bro, if you don't get that ugly looking, super looking, fat looking Chromebook out of here, that Chromebook not good. What is that Chromebook? That's the old school Chromebook, bro. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Go get a new Chromebook. Go get a gaming Chromebook, bro. My face.
Times. At the time, it was a cold and gloomy winter. I spent most of it staying warm indoors, bundled up with hot cocoa, glued to my MSN. I often talked to a dozen people at once. I had over 100 friends, but I didn't actually know.
That's Monkey or Omegle, because I know all the maps. What y'all doing? I know that's Omegle. Let me set it up.
Oh, that many people. Most of them were random friend requests that I accepted because I wanted to seem more popular than I actually was. I'd only known like 4 or 5 of them in person, but I pretended that they were all my friends despite the fact that the only way we knew what each other looked like was by our profile pictures. The reason I stopped using MSN was because of this guy that I had met on it, who we'll call Kip for the sake of the story. From his profile, Kip seemed like a pretty
Bro, he said he's 18. He looked like a grown man. He looked 30. He looks 30. He looks 28. He's 28. Bobby is 28. He's not 18. Oh, you better watch your back, bro.
attractive guy. He had a mustache and long, slicked back hair, and he wore these retro style
We're not gonna talk about the fact that his mustache is like a comb.
80s glasses. He said he was a senior in high school and 18 years old, just like me, which was what we had in common that started off our conversation. We chatted for several weeks and even flirted a bit here and there. Kip would always refer to me as cutie, which was enough to get to me for some reason. When we found out that we lived just 15 minutes walking distance from each other, Kip would not hesitate to invite me over to his place to watch some movies he rented from Netflix. Me, being naive as I was, I immediately said yes and agreed to walk to his house. It must have been around 15 centimeters of snow, but I didn't want to let that stop me from meeting this guy. When I got to his house and rang his doorbell, he opened the door immediately.
So desperate to get to his house. You ain't gonna take no chances to go back home. Wow. Could never be me. A simp too.
That's when I actually saw him for the first time. He looked closer to 80 than 18. That long, slicked back hair that I loved so much was thinning out, and a hairline worse than Miami Heat LeBron, with a wispy comb over and the crappiest
The person that wants to level of disrespect. His neck is hairy! You see that? Look at his neck.
brunette hair dye I have ever seen. He looked sorta like his profile picture, but he was way older and frailer than I ever could have expected. I immediately got the creeps and could only stand there in astonishment. Well, what are you waiting for out in the cold, cutie? Come on inside.
Okay.
I hesitated, but I was so cold and so worried about being rude that I went in despite my better judgment. As soon as I stepped in, I could hear Kip immediately close the door behind me. He then went in for a hug, and I instinctively pushed him away. But then Kip started pouting. Oh, are you the shy type in real life?
Sorry, I'm just not a hugger.
Well, that's all right. We've got all night, cutie. Go ahead and take a seat. I'll get the Netflix going. My coat was covered in sleet, but I didn't feel comfortable enough to take it off. I sat down.
To be honest, I just need a girl. It's just me personally, I just need one. Okay? 17 minutes in the video, but not this video, but because it's 10, but 17 minutes. 18 now.
Down on the couch and hoped he wouldn't care. Back then, Netflix was still mailing DVDs, and I noticed the only movie he had was a cheesy rom-com that was already 3 years old. He played the disc and then sat on the couch right next to me. My body tensed up, and I was waiting to scream the moment he tried to put his arm around me, but he...
I just realized, those was a DVD's Netflix. That means those computers was, no, gaming computers was allowed. Okay, alright, my bad.
didn't. Brr, it's so cold in here, isn't it? Good thing I made hot cocoa. That's when I noticed 2 mugs sitting on the coffee table. He leaned over and reached for one, but then he hesitated for a moment and grabbed the other one. He took a sip, slurping really loud while looking me dead in the eyes with a haunting expression. I made some for you too, cutie. I know how much you like your hot chocolate.
My name.
This man is a simp for an 18-year-old. A simp for an 18-year-old. Are you serious with me?
Name is Anna.
Oh, you're just the cutest, Anna. I know. Don't you want some to warm you up after that long walk in the cold?
No thanks. Actually, I really need to use the washroom before I can drink anything.
Let me show you where it is. Kip jumped up and led me down the hall. I raced in like I couldn't wait, but when I tried to close...
You said a kid. But particularly, you said it was a 80 whatever you said, person in their 30s or 80s. So I know you cannot be talking. You better sit down.
The door, he stopped it by sticking his hand out.
Excuse me, I'm trying to close the door.
That's when he started violently